Good morning, everyone. I want to thank all of our stakeholders, partners in governments, and leaders in the utility advocacy space. I want to thank Leader Stewart Cousins for her steadfast commitment to addressing utility affordability. I want to thank my colleagues, Senator Parker, Mayor Henchy, and Skoufis, for continuing to support efforts to reform the rate case process. I sponsored Senate Bill 1847 that is part of the utilities package, and this bill would require consideration of evidence relating to the economic impact that major increases or rates or changes to ratepayers and the affected areas prior to approval of any such rates or charges. We hear from utilities that they have high arrears, but if they did an assessment on the effect to ratepayers, they would realize that they are already overburdened by high energy costs, but they don't care. Utilities companies like to tout that they contribute the most to property taxes, but they actually pass off that cost to ratepayers as a recovered cost in the rate case proceedings. That's not fair. We have guaranteed the utility companies and their shareholders a profit, but we allow them to recoup property taxes from ratepayers. But somehow we don't conduct an analysis of the impact to consumers before securing profits for utilities. That's unfair to our constituents. It's unfair to the state. The governor's executive proposal, Ted N, directs the PSC to expand its review of utility expenses, such as advertising, legal fees, fines, and penalties, and to keep them from being passed on to ratepayers. My bill will maintain that standard of extensive analysis of rate proposals made by utility companies and require the impacts to be analyzed before approval of that rate increase. I will also continue to advocate for the PSC to utilize the prudence review position that already exists in the Public Service Law as a tool for rate case proceedings. They have not done a prudence review in the last 5 years. That's not fair. That's my word for today. That's not fair. I also sponsor Senate Bill 5553C, known as the rate hike notice, which would require utilities to provide notice of a proposed rate hike to a customer via text, email, and the customer's monthly billing statement. The least we should do is to make sure that ratepayers are being contacted in every medium possible to be aware that a rate increase is coming. We need to approach this from every angle to keep people informed about what increases may be coming to their monthly bill, especially for seniors and folks on fixed incomes. A rate increase that is spread will be felt. We spread over 3 years or whatever time will be felt. Rather than having an increase without explanation, we must continue to enforce transparency from the utilities. We must push the PSC to be more transparent and to make the rate case hearings easier for the constituents to access. Even the advocates are having a difficult time understanding the rate case process, and the push for PSC to continue to do these rate cases in private, behind closed doors with the utilities must be stopped. So again, I want to thank Leader Cousins for championing this utility legislative package. I want to thank my colleagues for all the bills that we're going to sponsor to address this issue, and hopefully with the support of the governor, I believe we may resolve some of the utility affordability issues this session. Hopefully before the budget is passed, but definitely before the end of session. My goal is to see some major changes in the Public Service Commission, making sure that they can shine a clear light on what they're doing and how they're trying to help consumers, which they have not been doing since I've been in the State Senate. Thank you.